Okay, so welcome. Audio seems okay. Game is loud for me. Hold on, let me turn that down. I don't think that affects you guys, does it? No. Excellent, that's perfect. Okay, so if I open that, that should have that. I want to have the other one open on the other screen so I don't have to look at the other side. Minimize Twitch. Dashboard. Manager. Okay. Alrighty. Alright. Now then. I think I've got the game running okay. No idea what'll happen when we actually get into simulation heavy bits. We'll see. Okay. Tutorial will teach you the directions, launch time, splashdown. Excellent. I think we got things working. I think so. I may be incorrect. All right. Get that closed. All right. Today we're in the Mercury capsule right now. And I think I can close the mission pad. Okay. I'll be your instructor here at the Academy. Oh, there's no helmet here anymore. There used to be. Okay. And Patrick and I'll be your instructor here at the Academy. Currently sitting inside the Mercury space capsule on top of the Mercury Redstone launch vehicle. The LV is what will take the space capsule into space. Fair enough. To look around, hold the scroll wheel on the mouse while moving around. If you've reassigned controls, use your configuration. You can also move the camera using the arrow keys. Try this now. Okay, so I can move around. What's the reset camera button? View and camera. Cockpit view. Cockpit views are the F keys. No, they're not. Commander seat, please. Oh, I can close the view selector. Okay. That's nice. Capsule is divided into a few sections on the dashboard with a given color to easily know where to look. Left side of the... Okay, culling is apparently a very big thing in this. Okay, so you're not actually running at real time. You seem to be running close enough anyway. Did I? Should that be pulled? That's an abort button. So the whole idea with this game is that you can flip all the switches and they all do what they're supposed to. Left side of the panel has majority of the fuses, the autopilot, the attitude controls, and the sequencer. So this is the sequencer. It does what it says. It runs a sequence. It looks like we have a cap on the retro sequence so that we can't fire it by mistake. But these are pull tabs in case we need to do those quickly. Oh, we've got a flashlight. I guess that's right, the devs had a thing that said that was useful for the VR mode. Okay. So we've got closed visor, attitude selection, retro delay, pull. Oh, this is a decompress. That's in case there's a fire. And the sequencer. Roger that. The center contains the essential gauges, attitude information, and the Earth path indicator. Clocks and timers, and the periscope device for manual attitude reference and navigation. On the right, we have the radio controls, the environment control system, and the electrical power system. Warning lights with audio switches and some other fuses, as well as the temperature settings. So we've got the AC readout. We're currently running at 120 volts. Good old US of A. This will be our radio. That's the push to talk button. These have like a fin, I guess, to help guide your finger there, because you might need to use those during high vibration then. Same with, I guess, this one. Oh no, this has a cover on it. Okay. Oh, we lagging again. Lovely jubbly. Weird. I wonder why it does that. Question. What are you using for the VTuber thing? I run VMagic Mirror. I fully understand that it is not the standard, but it seems to work. And where did this lag come from? Did I make the simulation do something? It was running relatively okay earlier. Yeah, I run, this is a VRoid avatar, just plugged directly into VMagic Mirror, because it will accept VRMs. Audio bus, emergency or normal. This is going to drive me insane until I figure out why. Lagged frames. How do I deal with lagged frames? Enable VSync is an option? Okay. Lower graphic settings until you stop lagging frames. Yeah. I understand that, like, there's like that V-Bridger thing that apparently can give you better control over what expressions you make. You can tell what. Does VSync actually do anything? I swear, if VSync actually helped... I'm so angry. Why did VSync do anything? Like, I'm still, like, my face lags, but... Anyway. 86% frames skipped. Damn. Yeah, they're pretty distinctive. My understanding is that it takes a shit ton of work to make them not look like that. It's also pretty easy to tell because I'm pretty sure you posted, pretty sure it was you that posted like a lot of the assets that I put on this thing. Because can I design from scratch? Not really. Can I kit bash? Yes, I can. And I probably shouldn't play with the switches until I actually need to. The ECS works in two separate circuits, one for suit pressure and one for cabin pressure. Even though the cabin is designed to stay in life for a few days, pressure suit is primary life support and will give oxygen if the cabin leaks or is depressurized. Maybe I'll edit the VOD if I get bored. That's fair enough. Therefore, it is vital to have a pressure suit that can provide air, keep your body cool, and provide air circulation and odor removal. The ECS comes with 2 fans for the suit. Number 1 is primary, number 2 is backup. Let's ensure the primary fan works. We need to turn on... Right, we need to set this to number 1 fan. Because it's set to normal. Right, cabin fan has normal and off. Suit fan has number 1 and 2. Okay, set it to number 1 now. Roger. Each supported spacecraft has a few predefined camera locations easier to maneuver around the cockpit. These are accessed by the view selector, press V to toggle it, or by using the view select hotkeys for the cockpit, F5 or F6. Okay. 9 is the window, and 10 is also the window, but you can see your gauges then. These days I'll use a V-Roid, but kit bash on hair and clothes, yeah. This is all done in V-Roid, but Blender's a pain, so I get not wanting to do that, yeah. It's not that I don't think I could do it, it's that it just looks so intimidating. It is not an intuitive, I look at Blender's interface, and it is terrifying. The thing is, I've seen the Blender's old interface, and it was even worse. Make the hair shine less extreme? I could. I kind of like the shiny hair. The one thing I want to do is at some point, when I get the motivation to do so, I'm going to design an arm to replace one or both of these arms. Make it mechanically possible and stuff. But then I'd have to thing is, I don't know if any the camera is shit. Which camera? My camera or the game? My tracking? Or Blender, the camera. Rocket pyrotechnics are armed by a squib switch. When armed, arming squibs are required to generate... Okay, so I guess we're arming squibs. Okay, we are now ready to jettison the launch tower. The LES, rather. Alright, we were armed with squibs. Neat robot arm I could send you. Yeah, I'd appreciate that, yeah. I feel like anything nowadays that doesn't have the ability to select a WASD control, like WASD, move your camera around in the space. If you're operating in a truly 3D space, there's no reason to limit the ways that the user can control the camera. Especially if it breaks things like you say. Only systems that's not armed by the squib switch is auto retro jettison switch, which is... It's very sad to accidentally jettison the retro engines as they are required to get you back down to Earth. Extra security was added, armed the auto retro jet switch too. This should be this should be on during ascent and after retro burn. Okay, so 3 series of batteries, so we'll look at the right panels. Capsule comes with 3 series of batteries, main batteries, standby, and the isolated. The squibs are connected to the isolated. Let's ensure the isolated is working by checking the voltages over 28. We need to look at isolated. Kerbal Space Simulator. This is Reentry. I'm currently in a Mercury capsule. Just learning the control panels. I could have skipped to Apollo, but OBS seems to hate Mercury enough, and there's a lot more switches in Apollo. Capsule comes with 3 series batteries. Alright. We seem to be reading the correct amount of volts. 28, just shy of 30 there. Right panel. Attitude panel, there is a time 0 button. Commander seat, please. This button is protected. Left-clicking once will remove the protection. Right-clicking will set the protection back on. You are the Kerbal? I am the Kerbal. What's my stupidity stat? You can activate time 0 quickly if the timer does not automatically start after launch. Where's that? Next to the attitude panel. Ah, this is the attitude panel, and that's the time 0 button. Okay. That makes sense. There are multiple buttons similar to the time 0 button. Each are protected. Keep in mind that triggering them will lead to an irreversible action. Press F7 for radio view. The next system we'll check is the radio communication system. Radio is on this dark green panel. Infinite? We'll see what your stupidity stat is? Yeah, probably. Next system we'll check is the radio communication system. 2 modes, UHF and HF. The primary communication is UHF, so I assume we're going to set that to UHF. Transmit switch, verify that transmit is set to UHF. Transmit, my hand appears to be in the way. I think that's set to UHF already. Set UHF to high power. Tap C to open the radio command menu. Okay, let me put me back in the commander seat so I can, see. Can I get this guy's hand out of my way? 2 kinds of friends, yeah. This menu is used. Menu is visible just below the dark green control panel. Those large circular buttons. Radio check and wait for a response from ground. Player 1 will read you 5x5 on UHF. Let's also try the low-powered UHF system. Set UHF select to low power. Roger that. Click radio check and wait for a response. Read you 5x5 on UHF. UHF will not always be available during atmospheric entry. We'll jettison the antenna, so you'll need to use a high frequency, switch to radio to HF to ensure that it works. All right, so back to F7. Let me get rid of the control panel. Set us to high frequency. Roger. Radio check. Roger. Press M to view the mission scratch pad. Okay, and since this is a tutorial, we're not actually meant to leave the ground, so we don't have anything ahead of splashdown. There are a lot of systems to learn and understand, and today we just scratched the surface. Don't worry if you don't understand the reason behind the switches we fiddled with today. Good job. I'll get some coffee, so let's end the mission. Let's end the mission here. Press escape and click on end to stop the mission and return to the main menu. Alright, mission complete. I'm fairly confident that I could fumble my way into a non-lethal mission. But we're going to continue on and go through launch and ascent. So monitor all the gauges periodically while being prepared to abort. No random failures. Loads into the pad where we're launching on a Mercury redstone in a Mercury capsule. And because I'm an astronaut today, I've got me rum and coke. Oh wow, that delay is like 30 seconds. Wow. Oh, stuttering. And we're getting a program not responding. The music kicking in though. Yeah, it did. Oh, we're back though. Now I'll eat a cookie while it prepares the cockpit state. This should work. Am I alive still? Is the game complete? Is this completely dead? Do I even have audio? It's gonna take a few minutes. Oh. Okay, I think we're back. I don't think the avatar is working out so well. Yeah, odd. Can I intentionally run myself at a lower frame rate? I don't need to be running at that high resolution. That's the wrong thing to grab. Grab me. Put me in corner again. Did I put the game back where it goes? Okay. All right, we're back in. I appear to have... Okay, that running me at a lower resolution helped a lot with, as far as, you know, me running smoothly. Welcome back, player. So we'll go through all the steps required to launch, procedures needed during the ascent, and what to monitor as the rocket lifts off. It's an automated process, but emergencies can happen. So your task is to monitor all the gauges periodically while being prepared to abort. Oh, excuse me. Capsule is now in the normal state when you ingress the capsule before a mission. Before you can fly, however, you need to perform a few steps to prepare the cockpit, as we learned from the previous lesson. First, ensure that transmit is set to UHF. It is. Feel like you need more time before ignition, you can request a countdown hold by using the radio by requesting it from the ground. Remember to resume it if you use this feature. Okay. So I can ask the ground to wait for launch. Arm squibs. Arm auto retro. Now we are ready to start the launch sequencer. If the switch is ready, the rocket will launch when the countdown reaches 0. Sequencer engaged. Use timescale to reduce waiting time unless you are in a powered or critical mission phase. 27% frames were dropped. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is terrible. I wonder if normal OBS has these kinds of issues. Yeah, maybe it's just Streamlabs. Maybe. Press 0 to pause the game. Try to set timescale to 2 times by pressing 2, then 1 to return. Okay, so we will speed up time by 2. Watch the mission clock as that sped up. and returning to real time. Got it? Once you've done everything as told, time to launch 1 minute. The rocket should be ready for ignition. Once the countdown reaches T0, the rocket will start to climb and some automatic systems are started. One of them is time from launch. Mission elapsed is located below the analog clock on the timing panel. Retrograde time is ticking for some reason. When you see it counting, report this to ground by using the radio, and then press clock started. Okay. T-minus 30 seconds. Alright, ground reads us on... ground reads us. Oh. Why isn't that working? Clock is started. Knowledge clock is operational. Primary objective is to monitor systems and ensure critical indications look good and the spacecraft is healthy. Use the window to ensure visually that you're heading upwards or along the horizon. Cycle through the various gauges quickly and often. I know there are a lot of instruments, but these are vital for a safe ascent, and let me cover the most important ones. Capsule has 2 fuel tanks, one for the autopilot and another for manual control. Fuel quantity indicators should stay at 100% for both auto and manual. Where are those? Cabin pressure. Suit and environment. Oxygen. Where the fuck are the fuel gauges? Control fuel. Okay. Above the fuel gauge, you'll find the accelerometer. G-forces. Still going up. G-forces will build up when accelerating. They will usually climb up to 5 or 6 in an orbital ascent, less in a suborbital like today. Cabin is now fully pressurized with pure oxygen. This will bleed off over time. Ensure this is decreasing and stabilizing at 5.5. Cabin pressure is dropping, which is expected.
Cabin pressure is holding at 5.5.
Thank you, Shepard. We'll maintain this at 5.5. This can be seen on the cabin gauge. Pitch program will automatically pitch the rocket. We have begun to pitch. The sky has gone black. By checking the pitch needle in the center panel. Capsule has 2 oxygen tanks. ECS controls them automatically. The primary tank is empty, less than 10%, and will switch to the secondary tank. Ensure the oxygen levels are 100% during ascent. If they bleed off fast or seem strange, diagnose and abort. You have enough oxygen to breathe for about 24 hours. Suit environment. It's holding at 5.5. Bit roasty toasty at over 80, at almost 90 Fahrenheit. Jesus. We're at burnout. Tower jet. Healthy battery is 24. You can select what battery to monitor. We have SEP. Good SEP, good SEP. DC volts on the select system will be visible, blah blah blah. Check the cabin temperature. Never exceed 120 in either of the circuits. I guess we are orienting for... We're orienting for... Oh, there's the booster. Look at that. Sequencer is left panel. Orange means it's processing or something is in need of attention, and green means the step is complete. Once the tower is jettisoned, the capsule is separated and ascent is complete. After the ascent, it will rotate 180 degrees and position you in a normal orbital attitude automatically. Awesome job. I'm going to resume mission. This concludes the ascent lesson. Roger. Do we have attitude? Attitude select. How long to reentry? 40 seconds. Okay, yeah. Alright, we will now end session and end mission and experience horrific amounts of lag as it decides that it wants to be small again. And we will go back to Academy, Project Mercury, checklists, and Atlas. Launch Atlas into space and understand how the checklists work in my mission pad. Loads into pad, no random failures. Mercury, Atlas. Going into orbit. This artwork is not significant. That is a Gemini capsule. Docked to an Agena target vehicle. Wow. Have we not horrifically lagged out yet? No way. There it is. There it is. Perhaps, mayhaps not. Mayhaps not. Oh, wow. Oh, that was real smooth. Relative. Nighttime launch, okay. Time to launch 4 minutes. Right away, I'm gonna request that we hold the count. Has enough thrust and propellant to take you to orbit and around orbit around Earth. Today we will launch it while learning about the checklist system. Hold the count. Cockpit is the same as in Redstone's procedures are identical. We will use checklists found in the mission pad to follow the realistic procedures during preparations and ascent. Press M to read the briefing tab. Read the briefing tab for a primer on the checklist system, then click on the checklist tab when ready. Briefing. Preparing the Atlas for launch, the same procedure as in Redstone. The ascent is slightly different as there are an additional half stage that needs to separate from tower, before tower launch, and final ascent before capsule separation. The ascent takes 5 minutes to reach orbital velocity. Checklist system has been designed to provide you with all the checklists needed to fly and operate the spacecraft in reentry. All checklists are available from the checklist tab of the mission pad. The checklist page is a few seconds used to categorize checklists. You can open a checklist by clicking on it. This will show the checklist text and you can start reading through it. You can use M to toggle the mission pad while you perform checklist, or drag the checklist to the side of the window to give you some more real estate to the panel so you can work with it side by side. Most checklists have a run and a back button. Back will bring you to the back of the checklist section. Run will allow a checklist guide system to help you through it. Switch highlighter will walk you through checklist, highlighting out of place switches. The UI will show that step in the checklist you are at and what switch needs attention. Checklist guide, the top line, blah, blah, blah. Such radio steps. These steps are usually instructional, such as perform radio check. Set of system X ensure an instruction reads something. Lines have a flashing blue and green backdrop in a checklist guide UI, and you need to manually press proceed to continue. It's assigned to the keyboard button T by default. Okay, we will now proceed to checklists. Roger. Start by holding the count. We'll need some extra time on prepper today. I have already held the count. At 4 minutes, 30 seconds. The only checklist we need to follow today is final checks. Checklist guidance system is game mechanic designed to help you with executing a checklist. It will help you find the switches you need to verify or change. Try to run a checklist using the checklist guidance system. Okay. Hold on. Ba, 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 ba. Input controls? Nope. Done. Are we sure? Okay. Back to checklists. We will click run. Okay. When you pressed run, the checklist guidance system UI popped up. If the background of the current step is green, it is now the checklist guidance system will automatically proceed to the next step if the switch is in the correct position. This auto proceed feature can be disabled in realism settings. Auto proceed feature basically just press the checkbox button on the right side for you when the game detects the step has been completed. If you disable it, the auto pro system, you will need to press this button manually after performing the step. Most of the steps in the checklist support the auto proceed feature. However, there are some that you need to press the checkmark manually. Yearly related checking values, performing radio tests, and so on. Basically, if the background of the current step is flashing, it means you need to manually press the checkmark to proceed to the next item in the list. You will try this soon. Resume the count and then try to complete the first step in the list with auto proceed enabled. Checklist will automatically move to the next item. Item is already in the correct position, it will move to the next immediately. Follow each of the steps to complete the checklist. When you reach radio check, the active line will flash. At this point, perform a radio check. Press radio check, and then press Roger when the checklist is complete. Okay, so at this point, we're requesting to resume the count. Proceed. Run. M. Okay, suit temp 3. Okay. Perform radio test. Radio check. Roger. Verify time 0 button removed. Radio check. Check. DC selector bat 1. Good. Arm squibs. At T-minus 30 seconds, ascent checklist. Roger. Roger. 0. Go back checklist menu and select ascent. Okay, back to real time. Checklists. Back. Ascent. Run. Check. M. Alright. We are going to... Okay, it's a very short checklist. We can resume the count. Okay. Monitor abort light, monitor the isolated battery voltage and the cabin pressure. Will go from 15 to 5.5. Monitor voltages. At engine cutoff, start the Beco list. Got it. Run. Back. Close this. Perform radio check. Radio check. Check. Verified. At 30 seconds, ascent checklist. Roger. Okay. This is our ride. Alrighty then. I'm gonna speed through here. We can go triple time, or 5 times. at T1. Drop it down to real time at T1, T-minus 1 minute. And counting. Suit fan, cabin fan. Standby battery, yep. All batteries appear good. T-minus 30 seconds. Man, you can tell I'm a Kerbal because I'm running at the same goddamn frame rate as KSP. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
Roger, the clock is operating. We're under.
Verify time going.
Loud and clear. Roger, we're programming and roll okay. A little bumpy along about here.
Time from launch is elapsing. Monitor abort and warning lights.
Roger. 2, 1, lock.
Umbilical disconnect. Roger. Monitor the gauges. Another step in Atlas is booster stage is considered a half stage. You'll only remove some weight as our 2 booster engines used for initial ascent are no longer needed. Alright. Pitching down range. Yaw is rock solid. Acceleration building steadily. Continuing down. I'm going to say verify. Waiting for booster SEP. I'm going to prepare the Beco checklist. Sky's gone dark. Yeah, you can definitely tell that this is, this kind of spacecraft is described as not so much something you occupy. Yeah, you wear it.
Pico. We confirm staging on T.
Awaiting tower SEP. Once the tower SEPs, we'll do additional step to prevent the retro engines to jettison accidentally.
Power is green.
Tower's gone, about halfway to orbit. Sustainer engine is now powering you for final journey. Roger. Roger. Retrojet is set to off. Roger. Doing this, you have some additional security. They are the only way to get home. As you work through checklists, you might need to find the need to move it around the screen. This can be done with finding a spot that does not have an active UI element. Scroll view, input field, etc. Then press and hold the left mouse button and drag it around. Applies to almost any in-game window. Rest of the ascent, monitor instruments, and try to learn as you are ascending into orbit. Lesson ends on capsule separation. We continue burning into orbit. I'm gonna run this stream until I finish my exams in the Mercury capsule or midnight local time, whichever comes first. So I'll probably run this for another 2.5 hours tops. Ground track, we're barely off the Florida coast. That wasn't booster sep. That doesn't sound good. Pressure holding. Cabin temp looks good. Steam vent temps are good. Suit environment. Jesus, that's hot. Back to the commander seat. This is the abort light. Right? I'm not pressing it. Oh. Look at that. You can see it. Powering in. In. Words are difficult. All right. Pico.
Lots of grades fired. Okay.
All right. You can end the mission using the escape menu. Okay. End the mission. And now we continue. Academy, Project Mercury lessons. Staying alive, staying alive. Lesson 4, electricity. We are on Atlas again. Yowza. Oh, my cookie. Where'd my cookie go? My cookie. Worry not, I found it. I found the cookie. Oh, are we in orbit already? We appear to be. Yes. Welcome to the electricity lesson. This will take a quick look at the various systems and components related to the electrical power system. For a start, we'll make a quick configuration as we will be depowering important components the ASCS is depending on. Set this to aux. We'll cover RCS in the next lesson, but this will disable the auto attitude mode. Mercury space capsule comes with an electrical system that is capable of producing both DC and AC. DC is supplied by 6 rechargeable batteries, each at 24 volts. Main DC bus is responsible for distributing electrical power to most of the onboard systems. 3 of these main batteries are wired in parallel and are considered your main. If your main should fail, you have a backup battery, 2 wired in parallel that will keep you power for a while. Last battery is the isolated and is used to give power to your very important squibs. Squibs are the system that powers the pyrotechnics for separation and jet. You can check the status of the batteries by using the volts gauge. Main 1, 2, 3, standby 1, standby 2, and isolated. Low voltage on one of the batteries is a good indication something's wrong with it. If this happens, it's a good idea to switch over to standby batteries for safety and turn off the battery. Let's pretend battery 1 is broken and showing a low voltage. Okay, we'll pretend that. We will switch to standby. Start by setting the standby switch on, we'll collect the standby batteries to the main DC bus. which is they connect the batteries to the electrical system, is located on the left and right side of your seats. They can be hard to reach, but set main 1 to off. Is this over here? Oh, it's back here. Main 1 to off. Roger. Commander seat. When you're on the standby batteries, you need to conserve power. We will not do this now, but this is done by shutting down systems you don't need, like the blood check, ASCS, the lights, etc. Flashlight is always available and can be toggled by using F. Okay. We'll look in the direction of view, but we'll also follow the mouse cursor. Try to enable the flashlight and move the cursor around, then turn it off. Okay. I can light the flashlight. Important detail is that all flight modes that operate the 2 RCS systems are based on DC except manual propulsion manual mode. If you're having issues with your electrical system, use this to control the capsule. If you're having issues with the standby batteries as well, see a low voltage on one of its batteries, you have one final option to collect the isolated to your main bus. It's done by setting ISOL switch to standby. Roger. Again, turn off all systems that you don't need. You can use the ammeter to see how much power you're consuming. Avoid using the isolated battery this way at all costs. If you have to, try to wait until you are preparing for reentry. The source of the ammeter is controlled by the same knob used for the voltage gauge. Okay, so what if I... I will go back to the state that it wanted. Set the standby battery to off. And reconnect main battery 1. Back to commander seat. Roger. And ISOL battery to normal. ASCS and the fans require AC. AC is generated from DC by using inverters. We have one AC inverter that provides 250 and 400 to the ASCs. One AC inverter provides 150 volts for the fans, and one final inverter that can provide 250 for either the control system or the fans. Check the status of the AC system by using the AC volts gauge. Looks healthy to me. Rotate the AC knob. Standby is not generating any. The attitude control system is good. 150 volt rail is good. 250 volt rail is good. The fans are good. Sure to set to fans for now. If one of the inverters goes down, the standby will kick in and illuminate the AC auto. You can control what the AC bus used for the AC by setting the attitude control bus to either standby or off or normal. Keep it at normal. Okay, we'll leave it where it is. You can also control what AC bus used for the fans by setting the fans AC bus to standby, off, or norm. Keep it at norm. Okay. Yep, that's fans. Having fans selected on the AC voltage knob, you can now see that it is powered correctly by having the voltage show 150. Yep. No. That's not correct. That's not right. That's not 150. AC selector to standby. This isn't right. It doesn't read 0. Fans AC bus switch to standby. Okay. Do the same for the attitude control system. Yep, you're set to norm. Make sure the ammeter is set to main. Okay. Power consumption should always be on your mind. As mentioned, the power consumption by your system can be right on the ammeter. Notice the impact on the ammeter. Roger. Maneuver switch on the left side of the panel. Other side is used to turn on or off the gyros. Setting this to off will also reduce power consumption. Not by a lot. 3 positions off, 1 off, and 2 each system connected to a fuse as a primary and a backup. Look at the highlighted program fuse and set it to off. Roger. System isn't working, ensure the fuse is set to 1. If system is still not functioning, set it to 2. System is still having issues, it can be something else or that both fuses have blown. Pay good attention to the various battery states, power consumption, and react as soon as possible if you see something strange. Electricity produces a lot of heat, so pay attention to the cabin temperature indicator to avoid unpleasant situations like an electrical malfunction, smoke, or fire. I'm not running this till midnight, I'm running out energy quick. Open the orbit emergency checklist. Scroll down to electrical power system. Checklists. Orbit emergency procedures. Scroll down to electrical power system. Alright. I would recommend getting familiar with this section as part of your training. Got it? If any is below 18 volts, I can read this later. Roger. Yeah. I am gonna cut it short here. Because I'm tired. I don't have an excuse. I'm just tired. And I'm yawning too frequently to hold a one-ended conversation. So, with that, I'm gonna send you all off to raid GDQ. I cannot raid GDQ. Why can I not raid GDQ? Can I raid CDOG? Is that an option? No? Why not? Is it because there's no one actually here? Who can I? Go raid them. Oh, are you kidding me? Why is that the only one that was allowed to work? I don't get that.